nervous wreck here. Back out here on the Falcon after a little break. Got to figure out how to get this right here off. Ain't gonna lie, I tried a little bit before I put it on the video to make sure I wasn't panicking, but I just took this big putty knife, and really and truly, I don't know if this is a good way, but it's working. And I went along and I broke all of it loose with that. And luckily I've got another car sitting out there that I've got this on it, so if I mess this up, it'll be bad, but it won't be tragic. So, and I got it loose right there, and I'm gonna see if I can't just take my putty knife nice and easy. Look at that. Oh, come on, baby. And snap that right over that. So far, so good. Hang in there. Look at that. Boom, baby. There we go. Yeah, you guessed it. I'm going to take that off that other knife there anyway, just because. Can't seem to be nobody wants to pay me nothing for it, so I'll just take all of it off and crush it. Let's take it off there. Yes, sir. This thing's pretty tight back here, though. Wow. Let's see. I took it and kind of knocked it. Knocked it loose there. That seems to help. Because if you see my little short where I bought me a new tool to get all this thing stripped off, I've got to get these last few pieces of chrome off, and then we're going to go to work. Serious work. Because I want to take this thing when we go visit our son for Thanksgiving to the turkey run down at Daytona in November. Don't laugh. I think I can do it. Check it out. I got it off in there. Didn't mess up none of it. I got one little ding, but I don't think I done that to it. I think that was in there when it was on there and I just didn't notice it. But I got that thing off there, so my little putty knife and the barely finessing it with the hammer knocked it right off there. Again, look how solid my little car is. Dang it. I'm excited. It's getting real now. We got a little boo-boo right there, but that's all right. I know how to fix boo-boos. So, I'm ready to get done with all this junk and get to doing on this body stuff. Alrighty. Now on to the next side. Hey, I can't remember or not if the longer video I done of this thing, but I'm getting all this I guess it's stainless, off of this car around through here. And this right here was the hardest part over on the other side. You see me struggling with it. So this side here will be a whole lot easier. This rubber gasket right here has just simply got Phillips screws in it. See right there? That hold that in. And then up here it gets a little more complicated because they got the big flat ones. And you just take all those screws out up through there. And then this rubber and this right here will come off. And then you just take and prise this thing over. And don't forget, there is a screw for this piece of molding under this one. So you take this off first, then this one off, and then that one will come off. And then this one right here will just slip out the front also. And I got the other side off without messing it up, so hopefully I can do this one. Luckily, I've got another car out there that's got the molding on it, and I'm gonna take it off out there too. So, and the most handy thing you'll find is, when you're doing this, is get you one of these, I don't know, screwdriver knocky things, and it'll knock them loose, and that way you don't have to worry about stripping the Phillips head screws out. So, you know, pretty easy. I'm gonna use it on all this right here, because hopefully I get this thing stripped down today. We get it a good wash job to where we can start really going after this thing.
So the other side, no kidding, probably took me an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, I don't know. And I was a nervous wreck that I was going to mess it all up. This side over here, as you can see, I whizzed right through it. Maybe not that fast, but I got it off and knew what it was going at. I was able to take it all off, all the screws, knocked them right out. Didn't bend not one piece of it, and so I saved every bit of it. But again, I got another donor car. I'm going to take it off just because.
Okay, that was the whole process from start to finish. The second time. First side over there probably taught me 2 hours to do this. I probably got all this right here off there. Well, the lapse time messed it up. And I've kind of lost track of time. Probably total 30 minutes maybe. And I got every bit of it off. It looked like I was really wailing on that thing, but I really wasn't. Look at that. Not a mark on my chrome. That was just how I got it to flip up over the top of that. Got all that chrome off there. Oh shoot. I didn't pull this here up, but it pops out the same way. So that'll be everything off the car. I can back it up and clean my mess up, boy. Dang it, man. That's why my wife won't come out here. She thinks I can fix the car and not make a mess. So I gotta do like you do in the forest and no trace left behind. Well, that wasn't too awful bad. And no, if this was a modern piece of glass, you could never do that like I did that. These windshield here is a whole lot tougher. And I probably wasn't whacking on it as hard as it looked like I was whacking on it. I just broke the rubber off of it, pushed that thing out, and there's the glass. That's probably not going to be near good enough to use on my car, but I wanted to get it out there to see if I could get it out. So now, this thing is ready to back out of there, and let's see if we can get something to get it all pressure washed off to where we can really get to work on this thing.
I saved you the agony of watching me and my wife work together getting this pulled out of the barn.
Well, I had a lot of little stuff going on, but sometimes you got to stop and clean up to where that you can mess it all back up again. So I finally got all my barn here out of the way. There's the motor in case anybody's been watching and wondering where it is. All the parts are ordered and should be doing over to my buddies to get that thing going. Once I get the barn cleaned out, then I'm gonna pressure wash this thing out and put my new toy together on it and the stripper on it. Here's Project 65 Falcon that I stumbled into, that I drug out of the junkyard there, and got it all kind of halfway blowed apart and everything on it. This actually turned out to be a pretty good car. It's kind of rusty and stuff, but it's make a cool, let's just lower it and ride it. And I think I'm probably going to, where that's rusted up on the bottom, I can get this motor to run. We're going to probably cut the front half of that car off and put underneath the bottom of this car off to make a little toy out of until I can get rid of it. So this got held up today, which you'll see when I get this video all completed, because it didn't even look down there. And I want you to look at the top of that starter, where the top of that starter has rusted off of that thing. But I still do believe that that thing's going to run. So that's a little bit of what we're doing here. Got to clean all this up, hopefully to get ready for some gravels, and then sooner or later some concrete. Got a little project go-kart here. I got the carburetor soaking in some cleaner and everything on this thing, to where that I still believe I can get this thing run, because check it out. Still, I can't believe it. Thing's not locked down, but it's not locked down. Actually going to get old Goldie out here maybe tomorrow and drive it around a little bit. Of course, all that thing needs is about 2 pats on the gas and turn the key, and we'll be ready. So, but anyway, so today's cleanup day. After this morning, I got out here and done a bunch of stuff on the yellow Falcon, got it the rest of the way apart and all. So, hey, don't give up on me. We're getting there. We're getting there. I got some pretty cool things coming. And again, I appreciate it with the bottom of my heart that y'all are watching our channel. Please subscribe, like, make a comment on here. I mean, hey, even if it's a good, bad, or whatever, we'll take anything. We thank you. All right, now the fun begins. It looks so much different out here with all this stuff off of it. I've got just a little bit off of it. I've got these the emergency brake cable and the vents and stuff. I got them soaking, couldn't get them loose, and that's about all I got to do and get the wiring out. But now I've got it out here to where I can flip it around here and get all this out and get all that stuff out, pressure wash it good. Going to throw the rust mort to it, and then this newfangled stuff that's supposed to stop all the rust, keep me from having all sandblasted. So we'll see.
Time to put that old purple power to it before we get scrubbing on that thing. Trying to get it as clean as possible before we start doing the treating and the sanding and all that stuff. Nothing to it. I think that I got the old cart pretty well balanced to where I can tilt it either way all by myself. So not any big deal on that. So, and that's a homemade rotisserie that old Jerry built probably 30 years ago. Still using that baby. I mean, I really soaked this thing down. I probably put 1.5 gallons of that cleaner on that thing before I ever even started on it.
Now we gotta roll her back over. Roll her over. Yeah, I think I got it balanced pretty good. Rolled it over there pretty easy. Now we're gonna see what we really need and order some parts. Goofing off times early if I'm wanting to make it by November. This thing is running. Might step up the pace.
If you're wondering, I started at the bottom to where I wouldn't just be rinsing all the cleaner off of it before I actually got it pressurized. I put the purple power over the whole entire car. Like I said earlier, I probably put 1.5 gallons of, I put over 1 gallon on it, but over the whole car, got it all soaked down real good. I wish it hadn't been so hot. It probably would have done a little bit better because it was hot and a lot of it dried, but it done good. This old rotisserie sure does make it a whole lot easier. I just climbed up and in there to where I could clean out all up underneath the dash. I cleaned all in the quarter panels. I cleaned all in the seal pieces in the roof. Everywhere I could stick that sprayer, I stuck it to where I could clean all that stuff out of all those years of it sitting over there being neglected over there in the junkyard. But I think I pretty well got it. I'm going to have to do this again once I get it, the stripper on it and the rust mort and all that stuff. It'll need another good scrubbing down and pressure washing again after that anyway. I shortened this cleaning process up inside here and everything because, shoot, as I got looking at it, I mean, who wants to watch a fat man just run a wand inside that thing? But I was in there for a pretty good while. But I really got it really good and clean. I was really tickled with that part of it. And that thing was still pretty dirty, even though this is the second time that I had put the cleaner on it and scrubbed it. Well, maybe I didn't scrub it the first time. I think I did, but I can't really remember. I'd have to go back and look at the other video. But I scrubbed this thing up good, and you can hear that brush going across that paint. Going to have some work to do, but we're stripping it all off anyway, so. Having that thing flipped up on its side sure just make it easier to scrub the top up there real good. I'm liking this rotisserie thing. This would be the second vehicle I've had up on this thing. You probably can't really tell, but I really did try to get all down in these cracks and everything to get all those years of sitting over there in the junkyard cleaned out. Just because the cleaner it is, the better all this stuff's going to work on the next process. I guess I didn't realize because I was having so much fun until I started editing these videos and stuff. Me and that old pressure washer, we spent some time together today. Doggone it. No wonder my neck and back's hurting. I had said earlier in one of the other videos where I didn't realize that old Bill had messed this thing up in the back, and you can see right here where that old red oxide lacquer primer had been put on the back. It was like half of that quarter panel had been painted, but I've not seen any bodywork or anything in it at all. So I really don't know what happened with that in there. So, but it had. It sure didn't seem like it, but dang, I sure did spray and scrub on this thing all the time, like I said earlier. My goodness.
All right, I finally got on big and heavy on the body. I'm actually working on the video, but here will be a short clip here about what I've got done so far and what we found and everything. I found a little more damage on the car. Got some rust across the top of it up there. No big deal. Of course, the floor, I think we've seen one on the floor. Toe board. I ain't decided if I'm going to fix this or change that. I'm going to get in here and look up some parts and stuff. See how much my wife's laid on the counter there to where I can get or whatever. I'm going to order a patch panel for that quarter panel here. Floor and everything back here in the trunk is absolutely great. The drip rails and stuff back here is absolutely great. It's absolutely great. Going to order a patch panel back here for this one and probably an inner wheel well for this side over here. Now the plan for tomorrow is, I think we're going to have our granddaughter, but I think the plan for tomorrow is I bring a tool home tomorrow. I'm going to try to get all this seam sealer, this undercoating and stuff off of it. I'm going to actually treat this up here inside the pillars and everything with a product called Rust Mort. And then I'm going to go back and clean this right here off with my new tool there that I put the short up on it. The little stripper deal there. I'm going to clean all that right there off of it. Excuse me. And then I'm going to put a product on this thing that's supposed to work. We'll see. Got to kind of trust the technology, because I dang sure ain't putting lacquer putty and lacquer on it. So I've changed that. So we're going to see what this other part of it does. And then I'm going to put stripper on the whole outside of the car and the inside and cover it with a plastic bag. See you tomorrow.